Hello and welcome to day 17 of 21 Days of Presence. I'm Adrienne Elise. Well, how are you doing today? We're in this huge process of assimilation and adjustment and trying to ground out after this crazy last season of eclipses and retrogrades. And even though we have Mars direct and Saturn's direct and Mercury's direct, we're still feeling the effects of this energy because right now, for the next 3 days, we have this exact Mars square Uranus, and it's the third square. The first one happened way back in May as Mars was coming into its retrograde shadow. And now it's still in its retrograde shadow. It will be until October, the beginning of October, but we have this third square with Uranus. And when we have transits like this, I talked about yesterday, is that when you get the third and final hit of the transit, of this angular relationship between the planets, that's when you get the gift of it. That's when you get the message, the understanding, and that's when you get the completion of the energy. So it's really important right now, just like we were talking about, to really pay attention to the information trying to come in and any synchronicities and just coincidences. Not that we really have any coincidences, but energies lining up for us to understand more about what this last period of time has been for us individually and, for the collective as well. But Mars is this like raw energy, our root chakra. It's the warrior self. It's fight or flight. It's survival. It's the physical body. And it's our drive. It's our desire to make change in the world and fix things. And so it's really, really powerful to have this Mars retrograde this year in Aquarius, going back into Capricorn, and then now Mars is back in those early degrees of Aquarius, making all these crazy squares. Now, the thing is that as soon as Mars comes off of this square with Uranus, and we're still going to be feeling this pretty much almost to the end of the month, but then it comes into an exact conjunction with the south node of the moon. So we can remember that those eclipses, Mars was a big player in those eclipses that happened this summer. And so we're all it's all related. And so we're trying to understand a new way of moving forward. And obviously a lot of the frustration that's happening for people is a feeling of not being able to move forward. And so how much of that has to do with doing a new way to move forward? And Mars kind of got an upgrade, a personality check, an ego check. And now we need to figure out how to move forward in a new way. So like I said, anytime planets are in relationship to Uranus, that means watch out for information from higher sources coming into your life. And that's one of the great energies of this 21 days of presence, is an opportunity, because you can't really receive those messages if you're not present, if you're not aware of what's going on at the time. And so much of our lives has been like scrambling around. I think this last whole era, this last pretty much decade, is this, like 2012 and Y2K, all these things, like big changes that haven't seen these big changes in our physical world. And yet we're feeling it energetically, and kind of a feeling like things are just a little bit off, and chasing your tail, and never being able to really ground out and really be present. So these, we talked about that whole energy around these, we're adjusting in 2018 and new timelines are trying to land. And the spring of 2019 is really when those timelines completely can land for us, because that's when Uranus will be direct going back into Taurus, Chiron will be direct going back into Aries, and they won't go back into, Chiron won't go into Pisces again, and Uranus won't go into Aries again. So that's when we're really going to be moving into that next chapter. But we're starting to land now and it has been this whole year of 2018, and we're adjusting to these new energies. And of course, it's that incredibly uncomfortable feeling of the invisible world getting shaken up, and yet no information and no clarity about what, in our actually everyday consciousness, really hard to grasp what's happening. And of course, that was the message yesterday, like, don't even try, because that's not how we're supposed to grasp it. Maybe we're supposed to grasp these changes energetically and receive these new vibrations and allow ourselves to claim our presence and our groundedness in order to receive these information. So we've got Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, the planet of the future, talking about its technology. It's about working together in a collective and moving into a whole new era, the Aquarian age. And then we've got Mars, which is about that raw action warrior part of ourselves. And so in square, there's an incredible amount of tension in squares. Squares are 90-degree angle, and they have the most tension in the zodiac. And it's about getting to the end of the road and having to make a change. And of course, here we are with this third exact of Mars square Uranus. And so everything that we've been avoiding this whole summer, of like things that have been trying to come up, this whole last season, things that have been trying to come up for us, and we've been just kind of like, it's okay, I'm just going to get on. This is how we've been taught, and the way we survive in this world is just to kind of move on. We don't have time to stop and heal. So then these unhealed places kind of fester inside of us. And so now that Saturn is in square with Chiron, and we're heading into this Aries a full moon, which is crazy because we've got Chiron conjunct this full moon opposite the sun and Mercury together in square to Saturn. And so that creates a whole pile of aspects, angular relationships for this full moon. And it's very busy, and it's got that whole energy of a crossroads, like coming to a crossroads and having to adjust into a new way of being. This is a really good thing. But while that breakdown and that adjustment's happening, of course, that's when we feel like we're flailing, like we might not make it, like we don't know what's going on. And especially for these light worker souls that are getting activated right now, it can feel like it's only happening to you. And so that's why it's really useful to come together and share in these experiences and kind of remember that you're not alone. And we are, as soul groups, going through this together, because we are going to be helping other people as the bigger soul groups of the masses are going through their experience. And we'll be like, hey, I got this. I went through that crazy stuff a few years ago, and I totally understand what's going on, So that's kind of the bigger point of what's happening to you right now. And so, I kind of feel like it's so great we're doing this, because this few days of this Mars square Uranus is so crucial to being able to receive the new energies, the vibrations, the reset our whole energy, be ready for the new timelines, because we are at this tension point of coming to the end of the road, and you can't go any further the way you've been going. So you've got to change. And it's not like that sextile, that nice little adjustment. It's like, no, you got to completely turn the corner on your life. That can feel like a 180-degree turn. And of course, you can't really turn your whole life around at the momentum that it's been going. So maybe that's part of this whole retrograde season, because the train is going 80 miles an hour, and you can't just switch it back the other way. Physics won't allow in our 3D reality for that to occur. You got to slow the train down, pretty much to a stop. And maybe that's what this whole season has been about, turning the train around another direction. But right now, the presence, the timelines, being aware, taking as many moments out of your day to come back to this etheric field we've been building, to receive, step aside, like we said yesterday, from that psychological mind and trying to figure it out, and just be present with what's happening, so that you can receive these energetic upgrades, receive the information that's coming through, and gracefully make this 90-degree turn in your life, whatever that might mean for you. And so it's a really great opportunity in this. It's kind of cool because it's a culmination of our completion of this 21 days of presence leading up to the 22nd on 7, it's about 8 p.m. on Saturday, the 22nd, my time, Mountain Standard Time, when the equinox happens exactly. And so we're kind of leading up to that time, and it's great to really be present for these information, because we have this Mars square Uranus, right? So we've got the way we've done things and the ego attachments, and the warrior part of ourselves that wants to think that we're in charge, of what's going on here. And then we've got the new energy, the Uranus energy, the awakener, the lightning fast information trying to come into our world. And so we've got this like crazy juxtaposition going on with Mars coming up. As soon as it goes off of its exact square, it comes into that conjunction with the South Node for the 3rd time as well. And that is talking about the past. And the South Node is in Aquarius. And so we're looking at evolutionarily in past times of the age of Aquarius where we kind of didn't get it right. And that has to do with energies around losing our consciousness, our individual consciousness to group think, losing our individual consciousness to technology and control energies. And so that's what we're coming up against, and we're going to do it differently this time. And so it's going to take some massive adjustments, and that's where we're at. And that's why you're here on the planet holding space for this transition. It's not just that like you are being targeted probably, but if you are, just go ahead and let that validate. If you feel like you're targeted with energies, working against you, let that validate you. Let it validate how much of a peaceful presence you could be for your soul group, for your family, for your neighborhood, just by being you and being present, just like we are right here. And then the beautiful thing is that Uranus is also still in this exact trine with Saturn. And that's such a beautiful energy because and Saturn is the material world. It's our manifested reality. It's the laws and rules and the authoritarian structures of this world. And so with a trine and Uranus, that new energy of what we're trying to bring in, it's like this kind of sweet energy of building a new world, especially at these early degrees of the earth signs with Saturn in Capricorn, at home in Capricorn. Saturn's bringing the law, but maybe also an opportunity for real integrity and true authority that comes from a sense of what's good for everyone. That's what the Aquarian age is, the potential of the Aquarian age to bring in. And so it's kind of like, this Saturn trine Uranus is an opportunity to land these new energies on the planet. And guess who's the receiver of those energies if you allow yourself to tune in, and again, it's kind of like having a boundary and saying no to the lower psychological frequencies, the false messages trying to come into our world, and going into those higher frequency messages. So let's just take an opportunity to check in with ourselves and with our presence and with these higher frequency messages that want to find us. And so we can just we've done such a great job. If you followed these, you can go back and get the other 21 days at any time, whatever one resonates with you, to just kind of get caught up and get your field. We're just strengthening our etheric field so that we are in charge of our autonomy and creating this beautiful energy of etheric, our own universe that we can come home to in moments throughout our day when things get intense, and remember what we're doing. So we're building this field so it's kind of there for us, and it doesn't take an hour to meditate and clear your space. It can take just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and arrive right here, right now. And I'm feeling just a really beautiful, strong presence of soul groups today. Maybe this is part of this Saturn square or trine Uranus energy, is these soul groups that have worked together so much on the astral plane and in other realms and are on the planet now, but not necessarily know, a lot of them don't know each other in actual 3D. And it's just a really sweet energy of being able to just know in your heart that you're not alone. And there's a group of people going through exactly what you're going through right now. And you've done it together before. And you're here to help each other and help the planet, but not in a codependent way, but just by being you and by receiving those higher vibrational frequencies and being willing to be the vessel for this higher frequency information that's coming through, represented by these Uranus transits. So let's go ahead and arrive right here, right now, and just take a few deep breaths. And as you breathe, just feel that connection with your soul group. More and more each day that you allow yourself this presence and this connection, the more you feel that you're not alone. That's the biggest message coming through right now for light workers is, one, you're not alone, and two, you're an important part of an incredible process that's trying to happen and is happening. So let's just go ahead and arrive right here, right now, and paying attention to the base of your spine. A lot of people are really sensing the change in our structured reality and not able to make sense of it. And so it's kind of making you jump up out of your root chakra, jump up out of your grounding. And we can kind of take this opportunity, just like we did at the beginning of these 21 days of presence, just use your magic sword to cut away all cords of fear programming that might keep you, that's that Mars energy, from feeling safe on planet Earth right here, right now. Okay, and great. Go ahead and feel yourself just sink in. And it's kind of just like a big sigh of relief, especially in the lower part of your body, just becoming heavy with gravity. Mother Earth's coming up to meet you because now you're receiving her support and her help and her communion and her gratitude for your existence. And just take a few deep breaths and just imagine that you're breathing with Mother Earth. I'm kind of seeing this in-breath, bringing in the earth energy through the root and then sending out your love and gratitude back to Mother Earth. And a huge energy right now message coming in around the frequency changes of the earth. We've been talking about for so long, but we've had some massively huge upgrades. And of course, then we have the control energies clamping down. So it's hard to know which is it. Is it the control energies clamping down, or is it the activation of the planet? And that gets really confusing sometimes, and it doesn't really matter which one it is. We're just allowing ourselves to tap in to the present moment and those, just making a filter in our field. Or the higher frequency, your highest self, the messages coming in, the higher cosmic love coming in, that's allowed. The rest of it, interference, confusion, garbage. Everybody else is garbage. They see you as this big soul that can, maybe you have contractual arrangements where you feel like you need to take on energies of other people, but you can't do it right now. You've got to honor your purity of space. This Virgo's, the sun is still in Virgo, and it's that beautiful message of the purity of our how much what we're doing, what we're here to do as light workers, when we can purify our aura and allow space for our soul to be here. And being a big light worker soul, you have a tendency to take on energies of the people around you without even knowing it. This is that empathic ability. And then you're all cluttered up and you're trying to solve all these problems of all these other people that you don't have the solutions, And so just go ahead and imagine again, just sealing up any holes in your aura and asking all foreign energies to leave your field just for a few minutes. You can take them back if you want, but just give yourself 5 minutes of peace and serenity and purity and your own vibration. You're opening up to that highest self and the messages that want to come through, but just clearing the clutter of everything else and your own worries and your own problems. Just leave those aside. They'll be there when you get back. And just take a few deep breaths, sinking deeper into Mother Earth. It's interesting, whatever's happening right now is causing, a little bit of a limitation on our ability to feel safe in communicating completely with Mother Earth and the root chakra. So just feel yourself sinking down, and that's a really important part for this meditation today, is just breathing with Mother Earth, coming into heart frequency resonance. So it goes from your base of your spine, that's still there, this beautiful gratitude, exchange of gratitude, Mother Earth is just so happy you're here doing this work. And what's that? Living and breathing and trying to have a positive attitude and trying to remember that you are here to be a vessel of the light. But you're doing the best job you can. Light workers a lot of times are really hard on themselves and feel responsible for all the pain and suffering on the whole planet. And that's kind of the karmic trap that we found ourselves in. But it's really helpful to receive this gratitude and give the gratitude to Mother Earth. Like, she's so beautiful and she just regenerates herself again and again and again. And she can teach us about this, the regeneration that's happening, trying to happen on our cellular level. We're bombarded with toxins and this lower frequency vibration right now, but we're more powerful than that. And we can evolve beyond it. Mother Earth is with us. So just breathing in this gratitude, and then just go ahead and feel that gratitude move up in, with your inhale from the root chakra into your heart, and then just beautiful embrace of Mother Earth, Goddess Gaia, connecting, holding hands, hugging Mother Earth with your soul team, and just let yourself release and relax in your heart chakra. Know you're doing a great job, and you're here and you made it. And you're on the planet and bringing your presence of light more than you can imagine. And feeling just like you're hugging a big tree with your soul team. And that's Mother Earth. And Mother Earth has roots in the cosmos, that beautiful harmonic energy that keeps the planets just rotating in their perfect, harmonious energy. And we can ride through this storm with Mother Earth, especially harmonized as we come into this heart frequency resonance. And just feel that heart frequency resonance, that peace, that harmony for yourself and how it affects your whole neighborhood. And just hugging your divine mother. Your Mother Earth represents the divine feminine force of the universe. Just feel yourself coming home. You're loved and cared for and validated deeply on a soul spiritual level as you're living and breathing right here, right now with your soul team and with Mother Earth. And just rest. Lay your head on her. And allow yourself to feel more safe than you've ever felt, perhaps on planet Earth, as a human. Just feel your whole body release and relax. Receive an energetic wave to reset your whole vibrational system to this peace and love and union with the Divine Mother. You're held and cared for through this journey. And that makes all the difference. Remember, you can come back to this feeling throughout your day. And just feeling this union with Mother Earth. Resting your head, resting your psyche, resting your soul, knowing that it's all going to be okay. To journey through this amazing cosmic experience with your mother. And just enjoy this union, this heart frequency resonance, this connection with your soul group, your soul groups, and Mother Earth, and the cosmic intelligence available in your very own heart for as long as you would like. And when you're ready, go ahead and complete your meditation. Well, thank you so much for joining me for day 17 of 21 days of presence. It just keeps getting more and more potent, the field that we're creating. So good work. And thanks for showing up. And thanks for being a part of it. And I look forward to continuing the journey with you for day 18 tomorrow. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.